In honor of March Madness,
Yay.
we kind of did our own superhero film bracket going on, and thousands of you submitted their brackets. We really appreciate your participation and support. It's been a lot of fun, and Mr. John Campea actually recorded a video with the round 2 matchups and results so far, so check out the video right now.
Hey there guys, John here, coming to you from Las Vegas, Nevada, where I'm here attending CinemaCon right now. Don't forget to check our AMC YouTube channel a little bit later for my daily updates from CinemaCon, letting you guys know what I've been seeing down here. But for right now, it is time to get to the round 2 results of our AMC March Movie Madness for comic book superhero movies. Round 1 pretty much went according to script, with 1 or 2 key little upsets here and there. You know which ones I'm talking about. But now it's time for us to look at the results for round 2 and the matchups for round 3. And we're going to start in the Nolan bracket. And the first result we're going to look at in the Nolan bracket is, of course, our number 1 seeded movie in the bracket, The Dark Knight. It wins handily over the original Captain America, the first Avenger movie, 16,903 votes to 7,308 votes. The Dark Knight advances, Captain America finishes its run. The next round up in the Nolan bracket. The 5th seed, in a minor upset, I guess you could say, it's a minor one, the original Batman Begins, barely inching out the number 4 seed, the first Thor movie, 12,979 votes to 11,414 votes. Batman Begins advances, Thor bows out. The third matchup in the Nolan bracket. The number 11 seed in the big upset in the bracket, The Dark Knight Rises, frankly, a much inferior film to its competition, the original X-Men movie, but The Dark Knight Rises does inch it out, 12,860 votes to 11,351 votes in the big upset in the bracket today. The Dark Knight Rises advances to the 3rd round. And the final matchup in the Nolan bracket, in another upset, actually, maybe not quite as big as the last one, but the number 7 seed, Man of Steel, beats out one of the best comic book films of all time, Spider-Man 2, 13,908 votes to 10,003 votes. Man of Steel takes care of business and moves on to the 3rd round. The Amazing Spider-Man 2, I should say, bows out. All right, now let's jump over to the Whedon bracket and check out the results. And the first matchup in the Whedon bracket, the number 1 seed, The Avengers, much like the other number 1 seed, The Dark Knight, takes care of business, beating out the number 9 seed, the first Sam Raimi Spider-Man film, handily, 18,811 votes to 5,400 votes. The next matchup in the Whedon bracket sees the number 12 seed, Thor: The Dark World, beat out the number 13 seed, Batman Returns, 14,753 votes to 9,458 votes. It becomes the only 12th seed or lower film to advance into the 3rd round. Batman Returns bows out. The next matchup in the Whedon bracket sees the number 3 seeded movie, Iron Man, handily beating the original Tim Burton Batman film, 18,304 votes to 5,907 votes. Unsurprisingly, the original Iron Man film moves on. And in the final round 2 result, we find the number 2 seed, X-Men 2, beat out its fellow X-Men film, X-Men First Class, 12,628 votes, very close race, to 11,583 votes. So there you have it, a couple of what I would consider big major upsets, actually. We see a number 11 seed move on to the 3rd round. We see a number 12 seed in Thor: The Dark World move on to the 3rd round. So let's check out our 3rd round bracket now. We're going to start in the Nolan bracket. And in the Nolan bracket, we see now in the 3rd round matchup is going to be The Dark Knight versus Batman Begins, a number 1 and a number 5 seed going at it. And then in the bottom part of the graphic, we have The Dark Knight Rises taking on Man of Steel. I gotta tell you, my bracket's been busted, because my bracket did not look like this. But anyway, so there you have it again. The round 3 matchups in the Nolan bracket, The Dark Knight versus Batman Begins, and The Dark Knight Rises versus Man of Steel. So now let's jump on over and take a look at the Whedon bracket. And of course, the matchup is going to be the number 1 seed, Avengers, taking on the number 12 seed, Thor: The Dark World. And in the second round, in the bottom half of the bracket, we've got Iron Man versus X-Men 2. To me, the most interesting, there are two very interesting matchups in this round. First of all, it's going to be Iron Man 2 versus, or I should say Iron Man versus X-Men 2. That's going to be a tight one. These are two really good Marvel-based films. They're both beloved, and it's going to be really interesting to see how the voting kind of works out this way, whichever team wins. But then also in the Nolan bracket, we've got The Dark Knight versus Batman Begins. Now, I think The Dark Knight is, while I love Batman Begins, and I think most of us do, most of us would agree that The Dark Knight is a much better film, was a big improvement over the original. How often do you get to say that in Hollywood? But that one should win pretty easily. But I think that Iron Man and X-Men 2 race is going to be a pretty fun race to watch. So there you have it, folks. Make sure you look down in the description of this video where you will find the link to go and vote on the round 3 matchups as we get closer and closer to declaring a champion. All right, back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, Sir Campia. We want to know from you, any big surprises here? Did your winning film make it? No real shocker, Avengers and The Dark Knight. I mean, that's kind of how we all. Any
Where was the Dolph Lundgren Punisher movie from 1989? Was that a 16 seed?
Yeah, I think that one of the race between, it was Thor.
Batman Begins?
No, it was Thor.
Dark Knight Rises. It was Thor 2 and
No,
Dark
it was Thor and
Knight
Batman
Rises.
Begins. Thor and Batman Begins. That's what it was. It was Thor and Batman Begins, and the fact that, yeah, Batman Begins won, but I'm shocked it didn't destroy the first
And
Thor.
I love Batman Begins, but that's going to get slaughtered by The Dark Knight. I'm
Yeah.
rooting for Batman Begins.
Yeah.
I'll be sitting in that team section, but The Dark Knight.
You got to assume Dark Knight is going to win the whole
And
thing.
I loved Thor, but Batman Begins was so amazing.
Yeah.
So amazing. So, yeah, let us know in the comments. We want to hear from you.
If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to AMC Movie News on YouTube. It's free and a great way to stay updated with all the latest movie news and check out our daily show, AMC Movie Talk. Also, don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Twitter to stay in the loop for our special prizes, giveaways, and contests.